Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Voiddyn and I'm here to talk to you about a deck that's kind of been really on my mind lately. I've played a bunch of it today because I've messed up a bunch of recordings, but I swear this deck is so fun. Today we're talking about Milotic EX with the ability Sparkling Scales. Sparkling Scales says prevent all damage from and effects of your opponent's Tera Pokemon done to this Pokemon. So basically the idea is that this sits in your active, stuff like Terapagos, stuff like Charizard can't hit it. It's a blast. And its attack has Water Colorless for Hypno Splash, which deals 160 and puts your opponent's Pokemon to sleep. Along with that, we have stuff such as Mimikyu that says prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's EX and Pokemon V. We're playing Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon because Cornerstone Stance, which prevents all damage from attacks done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon that has an ability. A lot of attackers, if not almost all attackers in the format, run some sort of ability which stops you from, taking any damage from them. It also has the fantastic attack Demolish for 140 for fighting and 2 colorless. This attack's damage isn't affected by weakness or resistance or by any effects on your opponent's Pokemon. So Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon EX can punch through Milotic. And then finally, last but not least, we are using Noivern EX. Noivern EX is a staple that has existed in a lot of other decks, and it's going to see its time to shine with Covert Flight. With 2 energy, you can deal 70 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from basic Pokemon. Now, why does this matter? Well, you're going to try to set up a board where your opponent cannot hit into your attacker, and your attacker can kind of just punch through as much as possible. So, for example, right, you might set up some stuff, and you might use our Ace-Spec Scoop Up Cyclone to make it so that either you deny your opponent the ability to knock out your Pokemon, or you set up a field where they cannot hit you or knock you out first. So, going further into that, we play stuff like Thorton, which allows you to switch out basics from your discard with basics in play, and it treats them as though they had all the characteristics, damage counters, special conditions, time in play, etc., etc. So let's say for whatever reason, you have a Feebas in play, and you want to switch it with your Noivern because you need to evolve a Noivern. Well, Thorton can do that for you. You switch the Feebas that's been in play for a little while using Thorton, and then you can evolve it into the, you get the Noivern out, or the Noibat out to evolve it into a Noivern, and then you're all set. We play a little bit of Turbo Energize too, because we have very specific energy requirements. We want to make sure we hit the types of energy that we're looking for. We play Double Turbo Energy as well as Mist Energy to make sure we can hit those. And also we play Counter Gain. Counter Gain will allow us to attack for 1 less energy as long as we have more prize cards than our opponents. So overall, this deck is pretty cool. I have really enjoyed it for all the different games that we played tonight. And hold on tight as we get started for our first game. Overall, a lot of this deck is going to be punishing you for not knowing your matchups. So we're going to look at this on the fly and kind of get an idea of what is going on here. Let's see. Taking off my headphones to really get into it. So do we want to go first with this deck? We kind of don't. We actually want to go second. The reason being is that half of our attackers require evolving, so we kind of want to use TM evolution if we get the ability to first turn, but obviously we don't always get the choice. Honestly, like, we want to get an Arven out ASAP. We want to fill up our board to figure out what we're playing against. It's always hard to figure out, like, what we're supposed to be looking at. So Mimikyu's always the best thing to throw out front. You just don't want to throw out Ogerpon first because Ogerpon can get stuck. And the last thing you want to do is have Ogerpon stuck in the active when you absolutely don't need to. We do play Super Scoop Up. Also, it looks like my opponent is playing Block Lax, which might actually be okay for us because we can just simply play our corner mask Ogerpon and then play something like, you know, play something that scoops up. So for us, we want to play Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. We want to play Arven. And with our Arven, we're going to play Super Scoop Up, and then we're going to also going to grab a Turbo Energize. So what we're going to do right away is we're going to play our Turbo Energize, and we're going to Mist Energy to the Mimikyu. And with that, we're going to Turbo Energize onto the Ogerpon, attaching a Fighting and a Psychic, because it really doesn't matter what we do here. We just end our turn there. And the way we're going to win this matchup is we're essentially going to only attach to Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon and just constantly hit it and not do much else. We're going to Scoop Up Cyclone the Mimikyu so that it goes into our hand, right? And like they're even playing Handheld Fan, which is really good for us because if they're playing Handheld Fan, then they're not playing like, you know, capes and other stuff like that and whatnot. I don't think they're attacking right now with their fan, as opposed to us, who is attacking with our Mimikyu, or not our Mimikyu, but our Cornerstone Ogerpon. We're gonna bring the Mimikyu to hand. We're gonna leave this in the active, and we're just gonna keep attacking. There's nothing my opponent can do because of the fact that Handheld Fan does not have anywhere to move our energy to, so we are like A-okay. They're going to pick up their stuff, right? They're going to play this. We're going to play the long game. And by the long game, I mean we're just going to sit here and we're just going to constantly hit the active. Right? Because they're not going to be able to knock us out in the meantime. You know, we could play our Arven. This is not affected by any effects on your opponent's Pokemon. But I am pretty sure we can get around this. If not, we might just scoop and move to next game if that's not how it works, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works, right? So we just attack here. Yeah, see, we do deal 140. So that's a visual bug. And we have Scoop Up Cyclone if we need to eventually get Mimikyu out or something else. The way that we're going to beat the Snorlax deck is just by not having anything else for it to retreat into. So we just keep our Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon in the active and we keep attacking. Again, right, the biggest part of this deck is being able to pick up our Pokemon and reset as needed. Right, we don't need to do anything else besides that right now. Unfortunately, we don't have the second half that, you know, I was really hoping for, right? The second half of being able to attack with Noivern, but that's okay. You know, we just simply attack, take prizes, do whatever we need to do, and we go from there. See, like here, we'll take 2 prizes, we'll move on, we'll take 2 prizes, we'll move on, you know? It is actually not that bad. So we just simply attack again, right? And that's how you beat the Snorlax stall, right? And then we have Scoop Up Cyclone if for whatever reason, if they... So this is why they start playing Flute, right? A lot of decks play Flute so that I'm forced to put something else onto the bench for them to push out into the active, right? They're going to keep playing Misfortune Sisters, but there's not any targets for them to hit right now. So, you know, we just continue to do the same thing over and over and over again, right? I don't think we play Airy, but, you know, if we did, it'd be super cool. So we do this, right? We just attack again. Doesn't matter. Like, they were not expecting their own power to be used against them. Erica's Invitation, right? So they get to do that, and then maybe they get to Counter Catcher or something of the sort. So they'll put a Pokemon out, doesn't matter which, and then we Scoop Up Cyclone it. Or we Turos it, right? The other thing that we can do is we can use Mimikyu, right? We can use Mimikyu to drop the... So that's what we'll do this turn, right? So we'll go Earthen Vessel, discard the Feebas, right? We want to get the Psychic to hand. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We probably shouldn't have done that. Scoop Up Cyclone. on the Mimikyu. Right? And then I want to Iono. Basically, we don't want them to get any setup whatsoever, and we don't want to have a basic Pokemon in hand for Erica's. So we'll just take the knockout here. And we just keep going. We play around what they have, we don't overextend, and we are all set. I know that sounds really crazy to say, but like, I mean, it is what it is. I think my opponent's just like, what the heck do I do here? Right? How do I outplay them in the control game when they're an attacking control list? They're probably shuffling in Erica's and other stuff too, which is fine, right? Rotom V coming down. Rotom V is weak to fighting, but we do not KO using the fighting ability, right? So, insta charge to draw a bunch of cards. Right, we can Arven. With Arven, I believe we want to grab... we want to grab the ability to grab a Turos. So let's grab Pokégear and Evolution just in case they play... they play Fan. Or not Fan, I'm sorry, they play something else. But let's get the knockout on this and we should be all set. For a Sealstone, they're going to probably use this to play Erica's, right? And then if they play Erica's, our goal is to just try to get something to switch out of the active. Right? Well, they play Erica's, but we don't have any basics in hand because we purposely shuffled away our hand that would have a basic and kind of just pushed through with that. So, don't worry too much as, like, you know, we'll really be able to push through it. There's a Chi-Yu. Chi-Yu is to help mill, right? I believe so. There's the Insta Charge to draw a bunch of cards. I think I want to go for an Iono. I mean, unless I keep the bosses. Let's grab the bosses orders. That way we can get a knockout on something small if there is one. We'll get the Demolish here. Get the knockout, take the 2 prizes. Hope we don't get a basic Pokemon into hand. Yeah, and then we got the Turos too, just in case they put something into play. So we are good. Are they going to just start to try to mill us? Hey, we didn't reveal a basic off of the accompanying flute. So that's really, really good. I'm trying to think of what else they could play that would be a pain in the butt. Okay, they're putting Fan down just in case. Eri making me discard the Hisuian Heavy Ball. I think that's about it, right? Sinnoh coming down, which doesn't really matter with us. Mill 2. They milled one of our basics. Let's go. You'll love to see it. And then I think we're going to hit with Cornerstone. And we're just kind of vibing, right? Like, we're not looking to do much else. We have the Turos up for if they Erica's, right? They Erica's, you know, do like a knockout here. But like, we should be all set. Again, this is a little bit more of a painful matchup, like, to watch. Penny picking up their card here. Bringing out the Snorlax with the Chi-Yu going back onto the bench with another Fire. That's fine. You know, we absolutely do not want to Iono, so we'll just simply Demolish here, right? And then we're going to just try to go for the knockout whenever we can. Penny again. I think I'm going to... So it's not worth bosses ordering again yet. I think what we need to do is we need to just hit again with the Demolish. Right? We don't have a lot else going on here. We have to make them fight for the win. Right? This is something that you don't really see stall decks trying to do. There's the third penny. Yep, that's 3 pennies, right? Okay. There's the fire again. Insta-charge again. Let's try to go for the knockout again. If they just have a switch to get out of this, we will be able to just KO the Snorlax. Any minute now. We will find out. Okay, 0-6. I need to discard 10 cards. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's fine. Switch cart. Cool. Little do they know I have a boss's orders in hand, so you know it is what it is. Sorry, friendo, you got outplayed at your own game. Again, guys, remember, the whole reason that we were able to do this in this type of fashion is because we did not overplay our hand. We knew exactly what we were playing into and how to play into it, right? You know, we got a little bit lucky on the Ericas. We got a little bit lucky on the accompanying flutes, but like genuinely overall, a pretty good first game. I mean, look, after looking at how this deck did the first game against Control, and I have some other footage as well that like, you know, where I really played into stuff such as like Charizard EX. I played into some other stuff too. This deck is like really cool. And as long as you can make sure that your opponent doesn't try to time you out, I think this is like a more skill-intensive Iron Thorns. The more I'm playing it, the more I'm like, I kind of want to bring this to my shop. I will go second. Again, I don't think this deck is punished that much by going first. The only thing that's unfortunate is not getting your opening hand. Again, you know, we didn't get a... Oh, my opponent's playing Hydrapple. Okay. We still don't have a basic to set up, but my opponent does. So we have to wait for them to finish the setup, and then we get to go. For Hydrapple, who's our attackers? So we need to worry about Tera Pokemon, which Hydrapple is not. But... Okay. Okay, so we need to use Mimikyu and Cornerstone Ogerpon. Which stinks, because I'd like to use, like, Milotic. But Milotic gets punished by Nope. Never mind, does not. We have to start with Feebas, which stinks. Not the worst attacker in the deck, but not the best. I don't know how many they just pulled off. Oh, I gotta go let my cat in. Dom, cut this out. Hey, kitty cat. Good morning. Okay. Dom, you can cut back in here. So they're starting with, it looks like they're starting with Teal Mask Ogerpon. Right, and they're getting their Applins and stuff set up. Which is fine. So their whole goal is to flood their board with as much stuff as possible with Teal Dance. So our goal is to not lose our Feebas in response, right? Legacy Energy coming out, making it so that they do not take a prize, or we do not take a prize if we knock out that Pokemon. Hey, there's the Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. Let's start with this. Man, I should have evolved right here. That's all right. If they take the knockout on Feebas, then we're in this really unique position that we've been in before, where we kind of just sit in the active and just smack people a bunch until something happens. We don't want to play anything else but the... Man, this is like really lame. So my other footage that I had that was like a little bit corrupted showed these really cool, intense matches. I don't think we're getting that here. Yep, they're gonna attach with Teal Dance, attach with Teal Dance. Kind of get everything all set up. Right, they're getting their second setup. Syrup Storm immediately gets a knockout on Feebas. Like, not even close. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, sounds about right. 6 is 6 times 30. That's 180. Oh, 6 plus 30. Okay. Well, we're going to do this. We're going to put a counter gain on this fella. Then we're going to play a Mist Energy. And I can get a quick knockout probably on... We'll get a quick knockout on the second Applin, right? Take our knockout, get our prize, move on. Again, this is one of those times where Cornerstone Ogerpon just stays in the active. Maybe what I'll do is I will post-commentate another game that I've recorded. That might be the best way to go about it. My opponent's trying to figure out how they get the knockout on the Cornerstone Ogerpon. I don't think they do, but, you know, that is perfectly fine. Right. The fact that counter gain is back in the format is so rad. It being one of my favorite cards, like, along with, like, all, like, the counter type stuff overall was so cool. Now, again, like we said before, right? What was the thing that we were talking about before? You set up this deck in a way of whatever attackers are out there are going to be the ones that, like, stare down your opponent. You don't care if you only have one Pokemon out, as long as they don't have a checkmate scenario. Or they don't have a strong way to knock it out, right? Because you don't want to boss's order stuff. So my opponent is retreating the Teal Mask into the Hydrapple. Oh, Canceling Cologne's coming out. I am just gone. This is game? No way, this is game. I talked a lot of crap, and I think I lost because of it. Well, I'm weak to grass, so they just KO me. So, as I said earlier, guys, make sure you watch for Canceling Cologne. So this is one of the problems when you play the deck this way, like how we played right now. Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon is probably the best one to grab right now, but, you know, we get knocked out and it's just the kill. I don't think my opponent realizes that I am weak to grass. Okay, so we have to, in decks that we're not quite sure if they play Canceling Cologne, we have to assume that they play Canceling Cologne. Do I want to go first? Yeah, sure, I'll go first. I have not been going first this whole entire time. I'm okay with going first this time, just to kind of get evolution set up. So Mimikyu was probably the play last time, and so is Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. This is us extending out a little bit, trying to figure out what my opponent's playing, because we don't exactly know just yet. So. I'm kind of curious to see how many different things are on the ladder. My opponent is playing Wiglet Mill. Okay, I have not seen Wiglet Mill before. So how do we beat Wiglet Mill? We probably go this into this, maybe. I think we need to reduce our bench size. Let's inspect the board. No, I think we need to go like this and this. Right, and then we put a double turbo energy onto the Feebas, and then probably just end turn. I'm not exactly sure what we're playing up into, like what they play and what they do. I've never really seen the Wiglet Mill list before. I do know that there's a lot of stuff with like putting your hand on the bottom with Scovet and then drawing with Barrel. Yep, us getting Iono'd is not a huge deal. It's not as big as I thought it would be. Call Bell kind of stinks here, but you know, it is what it is. We will probably... Again, I've never seen this list before, so I don't know what it does. I don't believe Flipping Tails is a part of it, though. Okay, so let's do this. We have a Turos. So let's Turos our Mimikyu because it's useless here. And then we will promote the Feebas, and we will discard the Mimikyu because it is not needed. Oh, we should have discard the Call Bell. We'll get our basic water, attach here, and then we will Ascension to find ourselves the Milotic. Milotic will be able to put stuff asleep, and then we'll just, you know, generally just do attackers here. I don't know, like, Colress's experiment, okay. I gotta read, like, what Wug Trio does. I feel like I should look that up while we're waiting, but maybe I'll be surprised. Who knows? Colress's Tenacity plus... Okay. But Barrel's there. So, I mean, I kind of like the idea that, like, you just shove your hand on the bottom of the deck every single time. Flip 3 heads. For each heads, discard the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. Got it. Yep, so they're just getting them set up every single time. I'm not exactly sure how they get the energy out, if they do. Maybe they play reversal energy, right? I guess that makes sense. So we could, like... I wish I was playing a dark energy or something of the sort so that I could just lock them with Noivern. But instead, I think what we have to do is we have to go Tech Evolution, Scoop Up Cyclone, put an energy onto here, and then we will take our first knockout. Then we'll take our first prize, and then, like we said earlier, right, a lot of this stuff is just making sure that we, you know, don't stick ourselves in a position that we can't win. So, you know, Scoop Up Cyclone, turning off bosses is going to be very strong. See, like, they're going to counter catcher probably up that, yeah. And our Noivern has no retreat cost, which is very good for us too. So here comes the reversal, I'm guessing. They're going to put their hand on the bottom. They're going to draw 5 cards. Or draw 4, technically, right? Super Rod in, the Wiglet, right? And the energy, right? Then draw 5. I mean, I can understand, right? But, like... Eri gets rid of... Oh, no. They get rid of my Scoop Up, don't they? Maybe they get rid of the Night Stretcher. Maybe they're not thinking. Oh, no, they got rid of both. All right, that stinks. Well, then we just discard our hand for double turbo, right? Which is not a big deal. Yeah, we Iono here. Yeah, there's the double turbo. We attach the double turbo. Now both of our guys can attack. And we will just get the demolish knockout here. And we'll just take one prize. So the idea is that as long as we are not overplaying our hands, right? Like, again, this deck is all about pacing, right? So, you know, you don't want to overplay. You don't want to do too much. You just kind of want to sit back and relax and hope, you know, that there's not too much. Look, there's a Mimikyu there, right? Calamitous Wasteland. Retreat cost of not basic non-fighting Pokemon costs 2 more. Okay, well, that's fine. I see. So then like there's a little bit of mix of like a stall element here. You know, my opponent's trying to find reversal. Counter catcher, bringing up probably the Noivern. We got to try to go for a Turos. I don't know if we have a Turos left. They're Colressing to like thin out their deck. Find only stuff that they really need right now. It says each basic. So we're fine. We literally just retreat. We mill 2 there, that's fine. Right? Oh no, we mill 3 per heads. Okay, that's a lot to mill. So we will just simply retreat. Attach a mist energy here. And then we're just going to simply demolish. We do probably want to try to get a boss's orders if we can to knock out some of their draw engine. There's the boss's orders right there. We choose the boss's orders. We pick out the barrel. They no longer can just simply, you know, get KOs whenever they want. Super Rod's coming in, probably trying to refresh their stuff. Again, this is a pacing thing, right? So as long as they don't flip heads, we're okay. How many reversals are in the discard? 2? So we might be able to survive this. Yep, they're putting another Wiglet out. Man, I really wish that we were playing 1 Dark Energy to do the Dominating Echo for moments like this, you know? That we could Dominating Echo to stop them from playing their energy so that they can't reversal energy to attack us anymore. That might be cool. Maybe in the future. That's 9 cards we have to mill? Oh, Lord. Okay. It's probably fine. There's the double turbo. We'll put another mist energy here just in case. Do I want to Iono? Yes, because that leaves me with less cards in hand. It gives them more cards in hand too, but that's okay. And then we get the knockout here. Right, we need 2 more turns. So we just have to hope that we can not have them... We have to make sure that they don't get another reversal. And I'm not quite sure how that is. There's another Wug Trio. There's the DTE. Okay. They have to try to stall me out which may not happen. Yep, Misfortune Sisters. Hopefully no discard. No discard off that. They have to mill 14 cards in a turn. I don't think that's going to happen. We just have to not be greedy. And we take this. So we just demolish. Take a prize. Hope that it's like a boss or something. Counter gain is not good here. Counter gain doesn't do anything for us, but that's okay. Now my opponent's trying to figure out, can they get the knockout with the Wug Trio? Can they make us mill? So at most we mill 9. Then that we have to mill 4 on top of that to really lose the game. Let's hope, right? Colress's Tenacity, probably finding them the energy that they need to attach to mill, but if they do that, they can't do Misfortune, which is fine for us, maybe not for them. I don't think that they have it, so, you know, whatever. I think that's good. That's good for us, right? Because they can't really boss our stuff up, right? Because if they boss our stuff up, right, we simply just retreat it. Like, oh, are they going to retreat into Mimikyu? But then we just retreat. I don't understand. Oh, they're just using it just to use it. Well, they didn't flip enough heads, which is fine by me. And then we will use Milotic to win the game. Yeah, and I mean, that's about it. Maybe they should be playing Legacy Energy, right? Anything to delay a turn that they can. And there's our last water. So there you go. We took the game against Wug Trio Mill. Do I want to go first? No, I don't want to go first. I'm going to let my opponent go first this time because we want to use Turbo Energize or, you know, any of our other attacks. Looks like my opponent has basics in hand. I do not. Only one mulligan, though. It's not bad. We do have to start the Noibat, which is a little weird, right? That's not something that I expected to have to start. I really don't want to research to get rid of the, like, the problem is that Scoop Up Cyclone is so good. I don't want to have to worry about it. Okay, my opponent is playing the Palkia. Looks like they're playing just straight up Palkia or the Dusk Noir Palkia list. So what is our thing here? Probably going to be Cornerstone Ogerpon again, or it's either Cornerstone Ogerpon or it is it's Cornerstone Ogerpon or Mimikyu and or both. So I think what we need to do is we need to get Mimikyu out ASAP. And we can wait on Cornerstone. So we will go Buddy Buddy PAF and get out Mimikyu. Man, my opponent really dumped their hand. So they're getting 2 out, right? 2 out is like 300 damage, giving me 2 prize cards, giving them 2 prize cards. Oh, Call Bell. Let's do that. Call Bell, I would like to get Arven, I think. Yeah, I think Arven's the correct choice here. Arven, I would like us to get an Energize and a Nest Ball. Yeah, that seems appropriate. So Nest Ball, I want us to grab a Cornerstone Ogerpon. And then Buddy Poffin, I would like us to get Mimikyu. And then I'll go Energize here. Turbo Vessel. Discarding the Milotic. And I would like to go Fighting. Water, I think, is the correct play here. Water. Or Water Fighting, I think. Because we're going to go Water onto here. And then I would like to Turbo Energize. Putting Fighting Psychic onto my Cornerstone Ogerpon, which I will try to throw something else down for the last bit. We'll probably Scoop Up Cyclone the Noibat and attack next turn. They have Greninja coming out too, right? Froakie, Greninja, which is going to be rough too. It's a Tera that we're going to have to worry about. So maybe the Milotic was supposed to go down onto the bench. I'm not quite sure. Yep, so they're going to get a double knockout here, probably on Mimikyu using Radiant Greninja. So they'll probably go Radiant, oh wow, okay, maybe it's more than just simply that. So they'll probably go Star Portal onto Radiant Greninja, right? Then they'll go Knockout. Okay, Curse Blast onto the Cornerstone. Oh, onto this. Okay. That's fine. We'll take a prize. Night Stretcher is not bad here. We'll promote here. Moonlight Shuriken's going to hit both Mimikyus, which is going to put my opponent in a really good advantage here. So let's attach here. I'm going to Night Stretcher, bringing back the Mimikyu, playing the Mimikyu. Then I'm going to proceed to shoot. I think I'm going to demolish the active. Right? It's either that or I counter catcher. So let's research our hand away. Right? I do not have a counter catcher to get the Froakie out of the way. So let's demolish here onto the active. We'll take one prize there. And it's just a Nest Ball. So this is like this is a weird part for us, right? Because Origin Form V-Star is very good against us. It does not get around either one of our things, which is fine. As long as we pick off the Froakie, I think we're good. Okay, Iono coming out. Pretty rough for us, but I mean, not as much as it is for them. Yep, Dusclops. I think they're going to just pop it to... Maybe they don't pop it. Double Rare Candy and a Poffin. Okay, so if they don't pop the Dusclops now, I think I just remove it with Counter Catcher. Them finding out that V-Star abilities are indeed abilities. Right, so we Counter Catcher up this fella. I research my hand away. I think I want to grab an Arven for next turn. Maybe in an Iono. Iono would have been very, very good here, but we're just going to grab an Arven. And then I'm going to just demolish for the knockout. It's 3-3, which is good for us. I want to probably put a Mist Energy onto the Mimikyu. The problem is that if we don't... Iridia's going to probably grab Greninja. Then I'm kind of in trouble. Because Greninja... Oh, okay. That is not what I thought. Surprised... Oh, Greninja's fighting. That's why. So now I'm at the point where I have to make sure I always boss his orders. Like, if they curse... Oh, they're curse blasting the Mimikyu? Yeah, I'm fine with that. That's a perfectly good trade for my end. Now I have to, no matter what, like, I have to boss his orders, the Froakie. Which is still pretty good for me. Like, I don't think that was that bad of a situation, right? They're switching. If they switch into the Froakie, dude, we take the Froakie. Do they have Greninja in the discard? They do not. What did they take? They took a Duskull? Okay. I mean, we just do this. We just demolish. We take the knockout, have a counter gain. Yeah, no, I mean, like, my opponent had it with Greninja. My opponent had it with stacking. So, like, the problem is that they want to be able to knock stuff out, like, knock out my Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. Right, but they can't do that if my... Okay, they put Dust Noir there. Putting 15 damage counters, though, doesn't win you... Or 13 damage counters doesn't win you the game, though. I think it actually does quite the opposite. Okay, Ionoing everything to the bottom. Not really that big of a deal with me having a couple cards left in hand. They could be playing Canceling Cologne. If they had Canceling Cologne... Okay. Thumbs up. I'm not sure why my opponent did what they did, but we will take it, right? Like, sure. Again, you know, the more I play this, the more I'm just kind of like, hey, look, I kind of want to put a Dark Energy in here to be able to use the other ability. For the amount of times that we're not using Mimikyu's attacks, I think I'm okay with going down to 1 Psychic, 1 Dark. Although Psychic does get used on... Psychic does get used on Noivern's attack. So... I don't know. It's a little weird, right? It's a little weird playing this this deck overall. I would like to not go first. Okay, look, you know what? We live by the Ogerpon, we die by the Ogerpon, right? I guess this is a little bit better than other Ogerpon lists because we're actually attacking with it. They're playing... I know what they're playing. They're playing Palafin. Interesting. I'm excited to see Palafin. I think Palafin's really fun. I don't think you need to play it with more Pekko anymore, though, because we have, like, better Switch cards. Well, maybe we do. Maybe we don't. Pecharon being able to poison, put more Pekko in the active, switch out, do a ton of damage. But I don't know how to tell our friendly Palafin player here that that does not work against Cornerstone Ogerpon. So we'll go double Mimikyu here. We don't really need to go double Mimikyu, but I think it's probably better for us in the long run. I would like to accelerate if we can as well, which we will not be able to. We don't care about the Noibat. Let's end our turn. So, like, there's a world where, again, like, so, like, when you play Noibat, when you play, or Noivern, and when you play, like, Mimikyu, and you play all this other stuff, right? You basically gotta go, what am I playing up into? What do I care about? I know I've been reiterating the same thing every single time, but, like, this deck's not that complicated. You just say, hey, what am I playing into? What do I like? What do I dislike? Although Munkidori being here gives me an excuse to play Radiant Tsareena, something that we don't really get to see that often. But we won't really play Radiant Tsareena until we can actively see a lot of stuff coming down. Dark Energy on the Munkidori. I played this deck a lot against Charizard earlier, and it was very fun too. We had some really, really cool decks. Okay. I'm not going to attach for turn. Instead, I'm going to Iono. Okay, we were never punished. We will be playing this. And then, just to give me some more to deal with... No. We'll demolish. Let's not overextend just yet. I think we're okay with where we're at. Take our one prize card. Right, we are not at the point where we can get knockouts against Palafin EX. So we're going to have to play Tsareena. Radiant Tsareena to heal. So. Iridia's coming out. They're going to get the Palafin that benches itself to evolve. Right? And then they also get themselves an item card. Item card probably being maybe a switch. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Yep, there's the Palafin. There's the Prime Catcher. Oh, it's the base form they got. Interesting. Okay. They got the Vanguard Punch one. And Tatsugiri. Okay, so they're playing single prize Palafin. Which I guess makes sense, right? What do we boss's orders here? I guess there's a world where we boss's orders. Well, we don't really want to boss's orders much else. Look, there's the switch. Wait, why are they playing this? I mean, I kind of get it, right? Let's do this. Let's get Radiant Tsareena. Let's heal. And then I get to get a free knockout. So my free knockout, I think, is going to be on the Morpeko or the... Yeah, we'll get it on the Morpeko, I think. I don't know why I healed 20 there. That was just not worth it because they still knock it out no matter what. Right? Because 130... Yeah, they automatically get the knockout. They don't have anything to bring up, though, so they have to attach something to Tatsugiri to bring it back onto the bench. So I think what we need to do is we need to start bringing out... we need to start bringing out something else. So we probably need to start evolving. Noibat kind of does it, but it doesn't. So it has to be... Man, I don't want to give them too many prizes. So we knock out Finizen, I think, if we can next turn. Prime Catcher, what are they bringing up? If they knock out my Radiant Tsareena, I'd laugh super hard. Oh, okay. Nope, knocking out the Mimikyu's fine. 140 is not enough here. I'm just trying to think of... We could Turos. Turos doesn't do enough, though. So, let's Arven. Arven getting ourselves... What's in our hand? Do we already have an Evo? Okay. So I would like to go... Do we not have... We have a Poffin. And then I'm gonna... Oh, I can't grab a Scoop Up, so let's grab a counter gain just in case. Because we're gonna get to the point where we probably need it. So I would like to go Feebas. Attach with this on the bench. I'd like to heal everything for 20. Right? This still knocks me out, but that's okay. Because I would like to evolve and prep my stuff for later. So Milotic being able to put stuff to sleep is going to help us a little bit. They don't have any dark Pokemon to switch out just yet, so I think it's okay. So we have to, like... Milotic has enough HP to live everything but the Finizen, or but the Palafin EX, if they are even playing Palafin EX. They might just not even play it right now because it's not worth it. Man, I'm surprised that we're getting bodied by the 130. Well, I'm not that surprised now that I think about it. If they don't get the knockout on... Oh, okay, there's the Iridia. I think our goal is to make sure that we just don't... We got to put stuff to sleep. We got to make sure that we don't get knocked out by Palafin, EX. I'm trying to think of what else there is. So we got the knockout here. They knocked me out here, right? What did they reveal for the... Oh no, they just found Iridia off the Pokégear. Okay, so our goal here is to probably knock out the... is to knock out the Finizen if we can. Which would require us to grab a prize card. Or to grab a boss. That is not what we want, so we'll put this here. I'm gonna research my hand away. This stinks so hard. We do not have anything to really get us out of this current situation. So what do we have here? We have a 1 retreat cost. We have a 1 retreat cost, 1 retreat cost, 1 retreat cost. Okay. So let's attach this here just in case. And then I want them to invest a little bit more into having to get their things back up. So, what do we bring up? We bring up the Pecharunt. We sit back. We can't attack, so we just end our turn. Man, that stinks. But it is what it is. This is one of those, like, you're playing something that fights the current meta, and then you fight something that's not in the current meta. And it's not like anything else that plays in the current meta, so you're kind of just trying to work your way out of it. Do we have any water? Okay. Lost Vacuum probably hitting my counter gain, which doesn't really make sense here. I don't think... Maybe they're just trying to use it, right? But, like, I couldn't have attacked anyway, even if I wanted to. I have 1 water in the discard. Do I have a stretcher in the discard? I do not. Iridia probably grabbing that Finizen that evolves. If not, it's going to be another 1-prize Finizen. Yeah, they're grabbing that Palafin. Okay, 0 to hero, Palafin. And a switch, right? Okay, we do have a Thorton. Thorton can stop this for us. It's going to be a huge attacker, dude. I wonder if they're going to have another way to attack. 340, 250. During the next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. Doesn't matter anyway. I hit for 160. Not enough to really matter. That's an Iono in hand. So I guess we boss his orders the smaller Palafin? No, we need to take like 2 prizes, right? Nope. I'm pretty sure I Arven here. And I Arven to get this up here, and that's about it. So we'll go Night Stretcher. We'll get ourselves a water. Play the water. And then I'm pretty sure if we get the knockout and there's no more Peko, it feels kind of bad. But you know what? We have to take prizes to keep going forward. We have the bosses in hand here. No Noibat. We're both at 3. So they are putting their Palafin into the active, probably because they're going to just drop a more Peko. Right? Get the more Peko into the active, retreat. Yeah, they're shuffling the more Peko in right now. Yep, I wonder if they have the thing in hand. There's an earthen vessel to get themselves the water. I think the way that we're going to have to do this is that if we're going to win, we need to attack and hit stuff that like they're going to be doing hit and run stuff. We need to pick off what they have, which means DTE needs to go on here. We need to attack and knock out the Monkey Dory. Lord. Okay. No more Peko. Let's go. Hey, we do have a Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon, but that might be a little bit too much. We need a knockout here if we can get it. I don't believe we can. So let's try to do this. We'll just put it to sleep, right? If my opponent has nothing, my opponent has nothing, so be it. Didn't wake up, which is pretty good for us. We don't even kill it in 2 hits, guys. It takes 3. It's insane. $340 is so large. Buddy poffing, getting themselves the more Peko. Yeah. Yeah, I think they have it. Well, they don't have it, but we need like boss's orders plus something else. Well, I mean, I guess they would technically have it anyway, right? Because, nope, they have it. I think they have it no matter what, unless I can find a way to knock out, which I cannot. They Vanguard Punch here. Yeah, I think they just take me out, guys. We'll bring up the other Milotic. Yeah, no, I don't think there was a better play for us to do here. We put their Palafin to sleep. Doesn't matter if it doesn't wake up or not, because in between turns, they will be able to switch it back into play. So, I could think of maybe us having to knock out this Palafin earlier, and then having to... Yeah, they just got the knockout here. Morpeko retreats. Palafin gets the knockout. Huge dam. And that's GG's from my opponent. Alrighty, folks. I believe... I have played so many games that the footage got corrupted in with. I think we're going to call it as is for Milotic luck. This deck is sick. I love it. It is one of my favorite decks. As long as you're not playing against really, really weird stuff on the ladder, or you don't get over, you know, over zealous with, you know, the fact that your opponent could have a canceling cologne, this deck is awesome. I would suggest consider playing it, or I would suggest and consider that you consider playing it, because at the end of the day, I think it's like one of the cooler decks to play. I'll see you guys next week as we have another Surging Sparks video coming out. Maybe we'll play something a little bit more traditional, maybe something like Pikachu. And guys, I'll talk to you soon. Have a great one. If you liked this video, drop a sub, give it a like, you know, drop a comment. Tell me if you like this idea of the Milotic lock. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.